Ladies and gentlemen, learned friends, if I may use my background in education, and of course, inspirational Sanjay. It's a great pleasure to be here today, and how do you match a speech like that before? But I do start with an apology because some of the things I'm going to say is part of what I've said yesterday, of course, at the Maritime SheEO conference. But I do believe, like you also said, Joseph, that events like this are very important for our industry. So yesterday at the Maritime SheEO conference, we spoke about the importance of people in driving the industry forward. Today, I was asked to go a bit deeper, and I would like to speak how we protect, support, and empower the very people that keep the world moving. As all of you, I'm sure, know, close to 2 million seafarers sail more than 75,000 ocean-going vessels worldwide. They are the hidden workforce that powers the global economy. Every day they move goods worth over 14 trillion US dollars. This is about 90% of the world trade. Without them, global commerce will come to a standstill. On their behalf, we saw their commitment very much during the pandemic. Seafarers work through uncertainty and hardship. They deliver food, medicine, and essential supplies to every corner of the world. Their professionalism and courage reminded us all that shipping is not just about logistics, it's about humanity. Seafarer welfare, therefore, must always come first. When we speak about sustainability, we must include the welfare of the people behind the ships. We must therefore redefine what it means to have a career at sea. Our seafarers' huge contribution to international trade and everyday life must be recognized. They must be treated as professionals, not as commodities. And they should be offered the growth opportunities and the chance to move between the sea career and, of course, later on, shore careers. The human-centered approach is essential if we are to solve the growing workforce shortage. Our industry is estimated to need around 90,000 additional seafarers by 2026. We cannot fill that gap unless people see seafaring as an attractive, respected, and rewarding profession. Despite our efforts to change this, many young people still do not know what a career at sea offers. Unless they have a family connection, they seldom feel that the maritime world is somewhere distant from them. So we therefore must continue our efforts to change that. We must continue going to schools, speak to students, share what industry can offer. Seafaring is not just a job. It is a career that builds character, teaches resilience, and opens doors to a global community. This is something that is well known in India. According to our own Seafarer Workforce Report of 2021, India is a leading supplier of seafarers, especially for officers. We must continue to support the wonderful maritime institutions that are providing the training and education to the future generations of seafarers. Governments, unions, and employers must enhance their joint efforts to create career paths that reflect the reality of modern life. A person's journey may not always remain at sea. There must be opportunities to move ashore, to grow, and use their seafaring experience in other areas. This is how we attract and retain talent, and it is how we compete with other industries that are also searching for skilled, motivated workforce. Redefining, therefore, the social attraction of working in shipping is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Diversity is also key to building the workforce of the future. We've covered that yesterday, but we will continue to do it at every opportunity we get. Shipping must be open to everyone, regardless of gender, race, faith, or orientation. A diverse workforce brings creativity, innovation, and strength. It also reflects the global nature of our industry. By doing this, companies can access a wider pool of potential employees. More than half of the population are women, after all, and most of the times better educated and more brainy than that. And by being inclusive, we can create a positive working environment that people want to be part of. The ICS is working hard to protect the rights and dignity of those who serve at sea. We know that seafarers face risks that go far beyond storms and rough seas. Too often they face legal and political challenges that threaten their liberty and well-being. We always say that 90% of global trade moves by sea. Yet, when a ship is involved in an incident or alleged crime, it is often the seafarers who suffer first. Many are detained unfairly or held for long periods while investigations drag on. These detentions often have no basis in law and can destroy lives and families. As ICS, this for us is purely unacceptable. Seafarers must not be scapegoats. They must be treated fairly, with respect for their human rights and their role as professionals. ICS has worked closely with the IMO and the ILO to change this. Together, we have developed the guidelines on fair treatment of seafarers detained in connection with alleged crimes. These guidelines were approved earlier this year. They are an important step forward. These guidelines make it clear that seafarers have the right to legal representation, to translators, and to due process. Detention must be lawful and no longer than necessary. They call on governments to ensure that justice is fair, swift, and proportionate. We must now encourage all jurisdictions to adapt and implement these principles, because fair treatment should not be the exception, but it should be the rule. Beyond policy matters, we are creating space for honest discussion. Earlier this year, ICS, IMO, ILO, and the ITF held a major symposium in London. That was on my first day when I took off on the 16th of June. The event brought together governments, unions, and industry leaders, but most importantly, gave the platform to seafarers who have experienced unjust detention. Their stories were powerful and personal. They remind us that the issue is not abstract. It affects real people and real families. The discussions revealed that many judicial systems are simply not equipped to handle maritime cases effectively. Political pressures often play a role, especially when accidents occur near a coastline. This must change. We need stronger coordination between governments and the industry so that investigations are handled quickly and fairly, allowing innocent seafarers to return home. At the same time, ICS continues to address the issue of seafarer abandonment. The situation remains serious. Only last year, we have more than 300 cases. Each case represents human suffering. Each one damages our reputation and undermines trust in our industry. This is why ICS is chairing a dedicated IMO task force to review and update the IMO-ILO abandonment database. The aim is to improve data accuracy and make sure that cases are handled swiftly. Better reporting will mean faster action, stronger accountability, and greater protection for those affected. We must also look forward. The future of shipping will bring new challenges: decarbonization, automation, cybersecurity risk, and climate change will reshape how we operate today. But one thing must remain constant: seafarers must be part of the solution. The Maritime Just Transition Task Force is a vital part of this effort. It brings together industry and international organizations to ensure that seafarers are trained and ready for the technologies of tomorrow. As new fuels and systems emerge, safety and competence will be essential. Training is not an optional. It is a foundation of progress. This is why, as ICS, we hosted in 2023 the Seafarer 2050 Summit in Manila. The summit focused on what the future seafarer will need. It looked at training, education, welfare, and recruitment. It also explored how seafarers can contribute to national economic development in a report commissioned by ICS by the Institute of the Americas. The report highlighted the significant role seafarers have on national economies due to their significant contributions to economic activity, trade, employment, and expertise in various maritime-related sectors, something that India is already benefiting from and is well positioned to develop even further. The main message from the Manila summit was clear. Collaboration and investment are essential. We must work together to ensure that our workforce is ready for the challenges of the next generation. We also need data. Data that proves that the value of seafarers to national economy. Data that shows why supporting maritime training is not only good for the industry, but also for the national growth. ICS continue to call on governments and industry partners to collect and share this information. Evidence will help us make a stronger case for investing in people. The success of shipping depends on the strength of cooperation. States, ship owners, and seafarers must continue to act together. When we act in unity, we achieve stability. When we act in isolation, we create uncertainty. This is why ICS will continue to champion dialogue between all stakeholders. It is how we will maintain trust, uphold welfare, and build a sustainable maritime future. Ladies and gentlemen, seafarers are the lifeblood of our industry. They keep trade flowing, economies stable, and communities connected. We owe them respect, protection, and opportunity. By ensuring them fair treatment and by investing in their education, we will not only safeguard our workforce, we will also secure the future of global trade. Let us make sure that the next generation sees seafaring not as a hardship, but as a calling, not as a risk, but as an opportunity, not as an afterthought, but as a proud profession at the heart of global economy. And with these few notes, I congratulate once again Sanjam for making this a reality, together with the one you did the last few days, and I wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you for inviting us.